ChatGPT Voice Mode sounds great on paper, but does it actually hold up when you're driving, translating on the fly, or trying to think out loud? I ran it through 6 real use cases and kept score the whole way, and there's one claim about note-taking where the community and OpenAI tell very different stories. ChatGPT Voice Mode is built for natural, hands-free conversation, and the real question is whether it actually delivers that, or just feels like a fancier dictation tool. So let's find out. Test 1. Natural conversation with interruptions and pauses. You know that feeling when you're mid-thought and the AI just barrels over you, or it cuts you off because you pause for 2 seconds to think? That's the exact failure mode older voice pipelines have, and the whole flow breaks, so you end up talking like a robot, just to keep it from cutting out. I looked at a 2-hour street test of ChatGPT Voice Mode in real conditions, and the result was no real glitches, only pausing when there was a loud noise nearby. And Bargain is supported by design with the March 2025 update specifically reducing those mid-pause interruptions. I couldn't find an independent latency score, so this is community reported, but the direction is clear. It holds up. ChatGPT Voice Mode takes this one, and the cost lens here is simple. A voice tool that breaks your flow every time you pause costs you the whole experience, so that puts ChatGPT Voice Mode up 1 to 0, and a 2-hour test with no real glitches is the kind of result that earns the next 5 minutes of your time. I've put enough hours into AI voice tools to know exactly where the cracks show up before the docs mention them. So if you've hit a wall with Voice Mode doing something weird, drop it in the comments. Test 2. Hands-free use while driving or commuting. A commuter who wants to ask ChatGPT something on the way to work faces a pretty simple problem. You can't type, and pulling out your phone at a red light is a bad idea. So the question is whether ChatGPT Voice Mode is actually usable in that situation, or whether it's really just a demo feature that falls apart in the car. When you actually look at the community ratings, hands-free use is rated excellent across walking, cooking, commuting, and other screens. CarPlay works, and the July 2026 GPT Live upgrade made that experience noticeably better. The caveat is that OpenAI doesn't market this as a certified driver assistant, so don't expect navigation or crash risk features. But for AI conversation while you drive, it delivers. ChatGPT Voice Mode takes hands-free too, because an excellent community rating plus working CarPlay integration is a real win for anyone who commutes. And that's 2 for ChatGPT Voice Mode, 0 for the alternative. So the value you're getting here is time you'd otherwise lose fumbling with your phone at a red light. Test 3. Real-time note-taking from video or monologue. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. You're watching a lecture or a long YouTube video, and you want structured notes without pausing every 30 seconds to type, which is completely reasonable. And this is the test where I'd heard the most conflicting things. Some users claiming it works great, others saying it's nowhere near what they expected. The interactive add a bullet workflow does work. You say it and ChatGPT logs it, but there's no always-on lecture capture, no automatic structured notes from a monologue, and capturing system audio from another app is blocked by mobile OS isolation. So you're driving every bullet manually, which is useful but nowhere close to automatic. Note-taking goes against ChatGPT Voice Mode because the absence of always-on lecture capture is a real gap and not a minor one. And that makes it 2 wins for ChatGPT Voice Mode with the first mark in the lost column. So if automatic lecture notes are why you're here, the ROI on this feature just doesn't close. Test 4. Background task execution via voice commands. The number that matters here is 0, as in 0 extra apps you'd have to open if voice actually drives the same tools as typed chat, browsing, data analysis, image generation, custom GPTs, all of it. And the objection I keep hearing is that Voice Mode is just a chat wrapper, not a real task engine. So let's see. I had to run it twice to believe it, but voice really does drive the same assistant as typed chat. Browsing, data analysis, image generation, and custom GPTs all work by voice. And the July 2026 desktop app update even lets you delegate tasks to AI agents by talking. Though the limit worth knowing is it's not a Siri or Google Assistant replacement for device-level intents like setting a timer. ChatGPT Voice Mode takes background tasks because access to the full toolset by voice is a genuine productivity multiplier, and that's 3 for ChatGPT Voice Mode against 1 loss, so the value calculation is pretty straightforward. Every task you used to type, you can now just say out loud, so we've got a clear picture forming, but real-time translation and brainstorming are still ahead. And those two tests matter a lot if you're thinking about using ChatGPT Voice Mode for language learning, or as a daily thinking partner, because translation is free on every plan now, which sounds almost too good, and the brainstorming test is where the rubber duck use case either earns its reputation or doesn't. Test 5. Language learning and live translation. Most dedicated translation apps either cost money or make you type one phrase at a time, which kills any sense of natural conversation. And the claim with ChatGPT Voice Mode is that GPT Live translates in real time, free, on every plan, which is a big claim, so the question is how much you can actually trust it without any measured quality scores. GPT Live does translate in real time and it's free on every plan, which Coursera and community sources both back up as genuinely useful for language practice and hands-free learning. Though I couldn't find any published BLAU scores or latency figures, so quality will vary by language. But the directional call from hands-on reports is that it works well enough for conversation and travel. ChatGPT Voice Mode takes language learning because free real-time translation on every plan is a hard ROI to argue with even without published quality benchmarks. And that's 4 wins for ChatGPT Voice Mode against 1. So for a traveler or language learner, the cost of a paid dedicated app just got a lot harder to justify. Test 6. Brainstorming and thinking out loud. You're stuck on a problem, you've been going in circles for 20 minutes, and typing out half-formed ideas into a chat box isn't helping, because you lose the thread every time you stop to type. So the claim is that ChatGPT Voice Mode can just listen while you talk, acting as a sounding board without jumping in every 5 seconds. The part that actually got me here is that you can tell GPT Live to just listen for 2 minutes while you talk through a problem, and it does it, and community sources and Toolchase both call rubber ducking one of the best use cases, though there's no published voice versus text A/B for ideation quality. So the strength claim is directional, but the use case is real, and it's one of the most practical things you can do with this tool. ChatGPT Voice Mode takes brainstorming too, because a tool that can just listen while you think out loud for 2 minutes has a clear productivity value that typed chat can't match in the same way. And that's 5 wins against 1 gap. So if you're using this for 20 minutes of thinking time a day, the ROI compounds pretty fast. ChatGPT Voice Mode is the clear pick for natural conversation because barge-in and pause tolerance work and a 2-hour street test back that up. Hands-free use is rated excellent with CarPlay support. Real-time translation is free on every plan, and the brainstorming and listen mode use cases are genuinely among the best things you can do with any AI voice tool right now. Where ChatGPT Voice Mode falls short is pretty specific. No always-on lecture capture means students and researchers who want automatic notes from a video or a live lecture will hit a wall fast. And it's also not a Siri or Google Assistant replacement for device-level intents. So setting timers, sending texts, or controlling your phone's settings by voice isn't going to work the way you'd expect. If you want the most natural voice AI experience, hands-free help, free real-time translation, and a thinking partner you can talk at, ChatGPT Voice Mode is worth it. 5 out of 6 features delivered. But if you need always-on lecture capture or device-level automation, like setting timers, this isn't your tool yet, and no amount of add-a-bullet workarounds will close that gap. One thing nobody talks about, there's no toggle in the app to switch between voice mode and dictation-only mode, so a lot of users don't realize they're in the wrong mode until they're already frustrated. And if your voice input isn't triggering a real conversation, check whether you've actually activated advanced voice mode versus the basic dictation fallback, because they behave completely differently. If ChatGPT Voice Mode got you thinking about how much of your workflow you can actually hand off to AI, the next video you want is ChatGPT Memory, what it actually does, because memory is what turns a one-off voice conversation into something that actually learns your context over time, and that changes the ROI calculation on everything we just covered.